I want to introduce our legend here, Grant Philipo. He's the curator, the creator, and the CEO of the Las Vegas Showgirl Museum in Las Vegas, Nevada. And he's also a former dancer, actor, entertainer, and stripper. And he's an amazing individual. And I'd like to introduce him now. Hello, Grant, and welcome Ninon.
AJ, what was that about the stripper part?
Well, she forgot to say singer, so now it's not just all about nudity, although that has been a big part of my life.
Is there something I'm missing here?
Yeah, but at least it's working this time, Ninon.
Yes, you're looking amazing. Of course, I love your background. Grant Philipo is an amazing guy. I was actually in his home where he has all his museum stuff, which is absolutely awesome. Anyway, congratulations, Grant.
Thank you.
And
Still working on our public venue, though.
I'm sorry?
We are still working on our public venue. We need to get that. That'll be the ultimate.
Okay, you know, we've got somebody on the show. Is that Robin?
Yeah. Hi.
Robin, are you the guy that's doing all these tours?
I am. That's one of the things that I do. There's about 3 things which I'm really passionate about. One is showing off my city of London. I also do voice acting in this city, which I absolutely love to bits. And I'm a rapper, so my music is kind of everything to me as well. So they're my 3 sort of things.
There, but I'm going to give you another connection. Robin, you and Grant should get together.
Sounds good.
Yeah, the reason being because he's putting this museum together. He's already got a museum in his home. It's absolutely incredible. You walk in and it's just you think you're in, you know, it's awesome. But you two should get together because you can get your event people to connect with Grant and help him get this project together. Is that right, Grant? Where's Grant?
Well, yeah, we're open to any and everything, you know, as far as trying to find a public venue and find another showroom where I can, again, produce a multi-million-dollar show.
Can you, why you want another venue when where you are right now is so incredible?
Yeah, but it's our home. It's a residence, so we're restricted because of it being a home.
Oh, you're restricted. Can you?
Yeah, we can't actually advertise, you know, to like put big billboards or anything to invite people. It's a home, so you're limited on how you're able to let people see the collection.
Okay.
If we were in a public venue, we could be open from a certain hour of the morning until a certain hour at night, and the people would just come.
And you can't do that at your home?
No, it's by appointment only.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll have to see if we can get a little bit of politics in here. See what we can find out. Because that's where it always works, as you very well know.
Exactly.
What is this? Stephanie? Who is this?
Yeah. Hi.
Stefanie the Contortionist.
Yes.
Got it worked out.
What's that?
No pun intended.
That's right.
Right?
I'm sorry, you cut up for a second.
I said you can go in any direction.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
But in the meantime, AJ, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. I'm so excited. We have a brilliant show with amazing and beautiful people, and they're all wonderful and talented and creative. I'm just honored and privileged to be here along with you, Ninon, Devere DeRosa, legendary and international spokesperson around the world. Thank you.
Well, I try to actually help as many people as I possibly can. There's one thing I like about Robin is when you pick that beer up, because in England they love to...
It's a cider. It's a cider. This is Bulmer's cider.
Oh, it's cider. That's even...
It is.
Oh, and my family were with, I think it was White Ways cider.
Oh, yeah. I come from like the Midlands, so Shropshire, Herefordshire. There's loads of it around there.
Nobody has any idea what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're on about. But yeah,
I know.
my maiden name is Whiteway Wilkinson, so we're kind of a little bit connected from Devon. We are connected.
Well, I could detect there was some hints of a British accent in there, so I knew you had some sort of affiliation over my side of the pond.
Yes, I'm actually from Torquay, Devon. I'm actually, I remember, not that, you know, I've got that Devonshire accent.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get back to Grant. Grant, so
Yeah.
how are we able to get you on our platform, on our media? This is something different. I have another place to actually also put you on, which is Vegas Live with Ninon, but we'll do that later. But right now we have this platform where we can actually put you out. We're actually redoing our website. We're redoing a lot of stuff. How can we help you, Grant, get what you need? Because I don't quite know what you need just yet. So let's find out, what do you need?
Well, the main thing that we're looking for is a public venue. And because it's called Las Vegas Showgirl Museum, of course, we'd like it to be in Las Vegas. The problem is that, I don't know if you can see, I'm going to kind of get off the screen a little and give you an idea of a lot of the other things. I don't know if you can see.
Yes, we can see it. Fabulous.
Wow.
And there's
Let me
room.
move into another room, but we have over 40,000 artifacts.
Yeah.
We currently pay for 4 storage units, and the problem is, of course, it's very expensive.
Yes.
We are a nonprofit, but the reality of the situation is that what you're looking at is in a home, a private home. So mannequins are blocking mannequins, and they're not really being able to show everything that we have in the collection. The collection itself, when I purchase costumes or when I build my shows, I don't just purchase one costume.
Oh.
If there's a chorus line of 15 or 25 people, I purchase all of them.
Okay.
So our real museum will be entire sets, to where the entire set will revolve. And I sent you that video of the experience, which is the public venue.
Yeah, I look
And
at
that public venue, let's see, where can I go? That public venue, sorry about that, it will actually be like you're stepping back in time and you go into the actual showrooms, and there on stage are the actual sets from the show, because we don't just collect costumes and jewelry. We collect all of the sets, the curtains, the props, everything that we can purchase that is associated with that show, we purchase. And so when you go into the Don Arden Gallery, you'll see show after show after show. You'll see the mannequins with glass eyes coming out of the ceiling or coming out of the floor, walls opening up to where you never know what's real and what's fake. It's just like a total, Disneyland kind of experience. And we actually will have live showgirls and showboys mixed in with the mannequins, so that as the people are viewing it, the set will stop and the mannequin will automatically come to life, only it's actually a real person. And they'll be able to ask that person questions and have their photos taken with them. So it'll be a total immersive experience for people.
Okay.
And it's kind of like a haunted house in a way, because you just don't know what's going to go on. And so right now we need a place with at least 30-foot high ceilings. We have negotiated for several buildings in the past. We would like, ideally, for it to be in the 50,000 square foot range, because we also want to have our own showroom, which will be the Fred Domaney Theater of the Arts. And that is one of our supporters that used to own the Tropicana Hotel here in Las Vegas. So we'll actually have shows with the real costumes, showing people what showgirl shows were like, because as you well know, there is not one real showgirl show left in Vegas, no matter what people try to tell you.
Well, what was it, the Jubilee?
No, Jubilee, unfortunately, is closed, but there's another show in town that is a half-assed version of a show. It's not topless, so therefore it does not qualify as a showgirl show.
No.
And the costumes are very cheap.
Yeah.
And of course, as you probably know, a real showgirl costume is a minimum of $5,000 to $50,000 per costume.
Expensive. But have you actually gone to the city, to the mayor, to all these people to find out? You have an icon here. You have something that really takes us back to the originality of Vegas when they first started out on the Vegas Strip, when they had all these shows and Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, and all these different shows. Then have they not want to help you?
Well, for 2.5 years, we were involved with the mayor of Las Vegas. They were going to give us the, well, not give us, they rent it to you if you're a nonprofit for $1 a year. They were going to rent us the Reed Whipple building. We spent tons and tons of money doing all the plans for the building and the renderings of what it would look like. We did all of that, and they basically reneged after 2.5 years. We did become a nonprofit. That's one thing. We're very grateful to them because there's a nonprofit we have called the Society for the Preservation of Entertainment History. And that is a big part of what we do because a lot of the stuff that we get needs to be restored. And there's a lot of money that goes into that. And of course, we don't get paid. None of us has taken a dime from it because it's a love. It's a thing of history. But unfortunately, you mentioned one word that is kind of crazy, and that's called politics. And you know, we didn't know at the time that there was a lot of backdoor deals and things like that done. So unfortunately, we got pushed by the wayside, and now it's just a matter of finding another place.
Yeah,
you know,
Scott Grant is definitely politics. I don't know about Wayne Newton. I don't know if he can help because he's a little bit of a, you know, his wife is very, no, okay, that's a no. Okay, I happen to know Vegas very well. As you know, I have my own show, Vegas Live with Ninon. It's getting the end of its 5th year, which I've looked to land a show in Vegas for 5 years is pretty awesome. So that's a good thing. But going through those, I understand.
Sorry.
That's okay. I understand what goes on in Vegas, and it seems what I've seen. You know, I've had a lot of help, which is great because I'm doing something for free. But I find that the politics in Vegas is really tough in the entertainment business, which it shouldn't be. And you have these 5 wars, these 3 wars, these 2 wars. None of these entertainers can afford this. So what you want to do, I quite understand. So you've got to get an old legend from Vegas to bring in. Have you gone that, or you probably have gone that route. You've probably gone every route possible, right, Grant?
Yeah, we've been working on a lot of different paths, and you know, we're very fortunate that we have Fred Domaney on board because he has the connections with any and everybody. And of course, we've had a lot of politicians. We were commended by Harry Reid. We've won lots of awards. Even being in a house, we won the coolest museum in all of Las Vegas, and there's over 100 museums. But the reality...
Can't you not get your house into commercial? Can't you get it into commercial? I mean, they do that an awful lot, commercial houses in Vegas.
Well, here's the deal. Right now, we're working again on getting approval for a usage permit. Once you get that approval, which we went through hell before, but it looks like there's a chance it may happen, then you're fully allowed to advertise what you're doing. And we advertise in non-paying ways, non-commercial ways, because that's restricted. We're restricted that way. But in reality, if we get the usage permit to be approved by the county commissioner for the area that the house is in, then we'll be able to advertise and have like full page stories in the newspaper, things like that we actually pay for.
I know
that will open the doors a lot.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking if you start with your house, if you get that first, do that first, rather than go into something big. going from where you are to something very big is very difficult, it's very hard, and then you've got all these expenses that have to be paid, and it becomes a total nightmare. And the reason I know, I've tried to do this myself, so I know the agony you're going through, but your house is so unique that I don't know why that can't happen. And I think if with your guy, Fred, from the Tropicana, he's a fabulous guy, by the way. I've met him a couple of times, great guy. And I think maybe he can help you. I mean, I think he's with you, but if you get the older generation into what you need to do, I think that'll help, because the older generation that performed in Vegas, they want to see all this. They want to have it out. They want to be part of it, because they're still hands. I don't care how old you are. You still want to perform. You're still a hand. That's just how it goes.
Right. Right. Well, and the thing is we don't, we've had years of working on this. The museum actually officially opened in 2006. And, we've gone many, many routes. We were involved in the Wayne Newton thing. That's why I said, no, it's not going to happen, because Wayne Newton doesn't have any money. Wayne Newton doesn't even own that property anymore. He has no association.
It's not to do with money. To do with who he knows, but if you say that who he knows is not helping either, I think you should really stay where you are and try to develop. Do not give up. Do not, especially.
No, we've never done that.
But especially, I think you've got more of an opportunity, with this day and age and with the pandemic of what we're going through. I think you've got more now of hope of creating something.
Oh, yeah.
I know the Liberace Museum was a failure. That kind of, nobody went there, nobody bothered. So museums, as a museum, doesn't really work in this town. The Mob Museum is never busy. They're always dragging people there.
Right.
Your home is so unique, and to start out with, if you have to expand, then you'll expand. But I think that's where you need to concentrate on. That's what I would do. And obviously, I'd love you on my show. We'll get you on Vegas Live with Ninon. We'll get all that done and we'll get that all put together for you so that we can get you even more out there. But I will help you as much as I possibly can, since I'm part of this city now and everybody seems to know me. I don't even know myself, never mind them knowing me. But anyway, I want to ask you, Robin, what do you think of the story that Grant has just said, the story that he's brought out? And you're very, very young. He's bringing something out much older of what happened in Vegas. Do you think, as a younger person, to attract people, that he should have a little bit more of also today's action?
Well, yeah, because then you're going to get a whole bunch of people that you might not have done, before. I'm just in awe of looking around Grant's house. It's absolutely amazing. He's clearly got something there. I had never even been to Vegas. So to ask me about showgirls and this kind of stuff, I'm probably not the best person to speak to, but I cannot see a reason why that wouldn't work. And absolutely, if you start thinking about getting all those different generations kind of in there for different reasons, whether you have the more Frank Sinatra stuff, and then, I don't know, you have some whatever kind of new music, hip hop or something like that for somebody, combine different things to have different rooms, different kinds of things like that, then I think it could attract a great thing. Also, you asked me, how I could possibly help that. Well, not unless you want to come to London, probably not. But there are wonderful old crumbling down abandoned theatres and venues where they would love stuff to be set up, even if it's only for a time. You rent somewhere for like 4 months and you do some sort of exposure show that way.
Yeah, but to ship all his stuff over would be a total nightmare.
I know. I don't know how you do that.
Stephanie, we're not leaving you out. Now, Stephanie, we've had this conversation with Grant, with Robin. What do you think about all this? For what you do, which is burlesque, sort of, well, you're a contortionist, but do you do burlesque as well?
Yes, I do burlesque as well. And
burlesque is also in the older times, when... Yes. Started. What do you think of this whole kind of what we're trying to do and put together here for Grant?
Well, I know Grant's been in the community for many, many years here in Vegas, and I can attest that he does have the best collection of showgirl material. I think, I've been in Vegas since 2004, and it is very political. It's just a matter of plugging, and I think Grant's doing a great job. I think he's gonna be successful because, you know, you can tell he loves it.
His heart is set in it.
Yeah. I mean, Grant's been in Vegas forever. So everybody knows Grant, and everybody knows he'll succeed. It's just a matter of, you know, I definitely can identify with it as well, starting out my own new nonprofit. It's really hard, but you just keep plugging, you keep, you know, putting your feelers out there on what will work. But I do agree, I think his house is so phenomenal, and I haven't been able to go visit it yet, but I really want to, because I love all the Showgirl stuff.
Sometimes, Stephanie, and all of you, sometimes, you know, it's like a restaurant. They have this beautiful, unique restaurant. It's this small room, and it's fabulous. Oh, we've got all these people. Then they expand, and they lose the touch of what happened because they lost their touch. The same with Grant. Grant has this incredible house that I would concentrate 100% on making that commercial, or even not, maybe not commercial, residential use. I don't know what the terminology would be, although real estate, I know a lot about real estate, but this one I'm not too sure. But I think definitely I would 100% concentrate on where you are now, Grant. And I would, you know, as a non-profit, and keep your stuff where you are and try to get that passing. And it might be much easier now to do that because you can afford to go anywhere or move or do anything. And you're trying to bring people to Vegas, which is what they're looking for, to entice people for something not new, because this is not new. That's what I would do, Grant. Would you agree with AJ? What have you got to say, AJ? Come on. My co-host is like sitting there smiling.
Yes, I've got a lot of things to say. I wanted to ask, you know, I hope you don't mind me making a few brainstorming suggestions, but Grant, would you be interested in, you know, the young people like hip hop and to dance? Would you be open to having a few drinks or martinis served if you could get a license, and a pint or cider, and some music and a little bit of dancing?
Well, first of all, as far as the house and everybody, you know, suggesting that we try to just stick with the house, the reality is that will never happen, because it's gotten to the point to where it's kind of pushing us out. We're right on the verge of 300 mannequins. So imagine putting 300 mannequins in your house and then having people. We used to do events here, and we had 300 people show up, but we also only had 100 mannequins at that time. And the reality is we're not opposed to anyone drinking or any of that type of thing. But, you know, what you said, and there was a very famous hamburger joint here in Vegas that was a hole-in-the-wall little place, and it was just lines of people going to it. And then they made the mistake of going to a bigger place. But you have to understand, in this small place, other than the few little mannequins that you can see, I think there's one on the piano that's revolving, you know, these costumes are meant to be seen moving. And that's why we want the revolving stages and all of that. Well, we cannot do that in our home. As you may have noticed, everything is crammed right up against each other. And that is another reason why the real museum will not be a typical museum. As I explained to you before, it's almost like, you know, going to Disneyland, because you don't know what's going to happen. So the reality is that when you take the same business and you just move it into a larger space and do the same thing, of course, it's not going to do anything. But when you add all these other special effects and all of that to it, then you've changed it. You've opened it up to a whole nother world. And our museum is not just Showgirls. People get confused and think it is. We have an enormous background because of me being a burlesque performer and winning the Sassy Lassie Award. We have tons of burlesque costumes. I work with all the legends in producing their numbers for them, still designing for women that are 85 years old, and they want something glamorous and beautiful. So, and it's like funny that you should say we should be involved with older people. My business partner, who I own the collection with, is 85 years old, doesn't look it, doesn't act it. Fred Domaney is 85 years old. And that's another reason why the public venue is so important, because the only way that the venue or the museum will ever support itself is when we can actually have large numbers of people. And even now, we can't because there's just not enough room.
Interrupt you 1 second. Grant, didn't they do it at the Kennedy Center or something at the Tropicana? Did they not have a big venue there for that when they opened it up and they had the presidential plane there and the whole bit? Was it Kennedy Center?
I'm sorry.
No, they did the mob. They did a different version of the Mob Museum there. That was in one of those Quonset hut type places. And I would have loved that building, but they don't have it.
So sorry to interject here. I apologize. We have about 7 minutes left on the show. I wanted just to let you know.
Okay. Well, we're going to get you, Grant, on my show, Vegas Live with me, Ninon. Go back to Robin. Robin, how can anybody reach you and what can we do for you? We've got 2 minutes.
Cool. I got 2 minutes. So I got 3 major passions. One is my tour guide company, Wonders of London. You can find us out all on Facebook. I work with a team of friends. This is how I found out about AJ, and now I'm making friends on the West Coast. With that, just come check us out. With my acting and my music, the very simple way is exposure. If I can get in the room with people, I'll do the rest. But it's just actually getting out there. And kind of like going through the motions with that.
Shoot out to how they can reach you.
So they can find us Facebook, www.wondersoflondon.com. So for the tour guiding stuff, you can also find us Facebook Antimatter for all my hip hop.
Okay. Now, what about you, Stefanie? Couple of minutes for you. Okay.
So I just started a nonprofit called BurlyCares, which is a nonprofit that's dedicated to retired legends, retired burlesque legends. It helps to bridge the gap. So many of them have difficulty once they retire. They might not have enough money. So we make sure their basic needs are met. We also will give them medical equipment and medical supplies free of charge and referral services. So I just started this not too long ago, and we got our nonprofit status this June. And so anything to help get the word out that we're here and that we're here to help the legends. We've already helped a lot of them already, and I just would like to have it grow even more. So
awesome. How can they reach you?
We have our website, www.BurlyCares.com, and all the information is on there and how to get in touch with us. Phone number and email is on there as well.
Wonderful. Grant, how can we get hold of you?
www.LasVegasShowgirlMuseum.com.
Awesome. Okay, AJ.
We're also on Instagram.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Grant.
We're also on Instagram, and we would go to England in a heartbeat.
So you two must all 3 of you must get together. I know that Stefanie, you live in Vegas, right, Stefanie?
Yeah, and I've been wanting to visit Grant's house for many years now, and
because you're all on the show together. So
yeah, exactly.
My show, I do not do Zoom on Vegas Live with Ninon Robin, so I can't do that until you have to actually be in person on my show in Vegas. Do any Zoom or anything like that.
I'd love to come over. I'd love to do it.
I'm not buying you the ticket, and I'm not.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Have some last words from you, AJ.
I just want to thank all of our guests. We still have like 3 minutes left. If anyone else wants to contribute anything, I'm just happy to be here. Thank you for including me.
Okay. Well, I'm going to contribute, and I also want to contribute to Grant, because this is very important for Las Vegas, not only for Grant, though Grant has put this whole thing together. Grant has made this happen. And unfortunately in Vegas, it seems like museums and places like this of entertainment seem to have sort of gone down the dark tunnel, and I don't know why, because Vegas is such an original place with entertainment, and it all started here, as he said, with the Jubilee and all this stuff that started here, and Frank Sinatra and everybody, you know, this is the legendary kind of, I don't know, state, whatever you want to call it, of the world, where they have all the entertainment, as well as the old, they have the new. I think getting the Grant, getting the new in as well might help you. So he's showing us what's going on there, which is amazing.
No, it's so cool.
Yes. Grant, the last few words from you. Grant?
Well, I don't know exactly what to say other than thank you very much for, you know, everything that you're attempting to do to help people. I'm trying to give you some kind of visual in the background. of other areas. We're very proud that we just got international stage star Jacqueline Duguay's costumes and jewelry. These are a couple of hers. We have star wardrobe here as well. This is Dionne Warwick, Raquel Welch, Anne Margaret, Linda Carter. We have many, many more. Burlesque legend on that side. April March, the First Lady of Burlesque, who I still design her costumes and produce her acts. And you can go on our Instagram page that's constantly changed, our Facebook page, which is facebook.com with that /, and then it has the Las Vegas Showgirl Museum.
Awesome.
So you can see a lot of stuff, a lot of videos, and of course go to PBS or YouTube and look for the Showgirl, a Las Vegas icon.
Wonderful.
Right here.
Okay, I think that we've come to the front, haven't we? AJ, you coming?
Yes, we have about 1 minute and 30 seconds left.
Okay, well, we just heard from Grant what he's done with all the Anne Margarets and all these different celebrities, and I've actually seen these costumes. They are amazing. Now, don't forget to get in touch with Robin. Robin would like some help, and he would like to actually land in Vegas. The problem is we're not doing any touring in Vegas. Shows are here by the dozen, so you might not want to just leave just yet. I would test the waters a little bit before you make that big move. Stefanie, you're doing absolutely great. Stefanie, I would love to have you on my show. Help you come on my show, we'll promote you. So we can promote all of you. And AJ, I'd like to thank AJ because AJ is my host. I haven't known AJ that long, but AJ is kind of one of, I know, AJ is kind of one of my students that I've brought her on as my co-host because I think she's amazing. She's been following my show for years. Vegas Live with Ninon is doing extremely well. We're very well known in town, and we're getting all the celebrities. So Stefanie, if you know anybody that would like to come on, maybe an older burlesque person or something, give them some time just to let them know what Vegas used to be like. Back to you, AJ. You're amazing. She keeps this show all together. She gets the Zoom together. She does everything. She's doing a wonderful job. But I want to thank all of you for coming on and making the time. And wherever we can help you,